So we are standing by with Saquon Barkley in the Eagles locker room after a loss at MetLife Stadium. I just ran into the Eagles owner, and he said this is a rare loss for us. Sometimes it happens, and this is what you have to go through. Your emotion after suffering a heartbreaking loss against your former team.
I don't think it being a former team has anything to do with it. Anytime you lose in this league, it sucks. You put a lot of work in, but you gotta give respect to those guys over there. They played with energy. They came out with a great game plan, so definitely shout out to those boys and Dave and all of them. But we get a 4-day break. We got to reset. We just got to figure out. We got to look in the mirror and come ready to work either Monday or Tuesday whenever we get back.
There was a point there in the first half where it looked like you guys were going to gather steam, regain the lead at some point, and keep it going. So why did it still get disjointed in the second half in your mind?
At the end of the day, it always comes down to us. We just got to be better in the little things. And that's what it was the week before. That's what it was this week. We just got to improve. We talk about it. We talk about being detailed. We talk about focusing on little things, and we didn't do that good enough.
What would you say is the togetherness quotient on this team right now? Obviously, there have been some headlines about various, factions of the team wanting to also contribute and things like that. So where would you rate the overall togetherness of where you are synergistically and chemistry-wise?
It's one of our core values, one of the things that we focus on. And we got to be better in that too. Detailed, together, tough. We didn't do any of those three today. And when you don't do those three, you usually lose football games.
What did Nick Sirianni say to you guys after the game?
Got to reset. That's really the main message.
Saquon, I heard you just mention you guys didn't do that tough, detailed together stuff. What do you think was the cause of that? How did that happen?
I think, the Giants came out and they played great. They were the better team today. They played with energy. They played tough. They made more plays than us. Usually that's how you lose football games. We just got to go back to the drawing board, look at film, hold each other accountable, and move on from it.
Were you kind of surprised that they were able to pretty much shut you guys down in the second half?
It's the National Football League. They're a good team. That's just, especially a team like that who's young and got a lot of energy. We didn't come in and execute enough, and they did a better job. So shout out to those guys over there. And we need this break, this little 4-day break to reset and really look in the mirror and figure it out and come out ready for the next week.
What would you say that the mood of the team is overall right now?
I don't know. Anytime you lose, it's not a good feeling. But the mood got to be take these 4 days, take it on the chin, and keep moving. It's the National Football League. We're 4-2, but there's a lot of things we need to work on. And after a stretch like this, 2 losses in a row, that could be the reason why your team goes the opposite way, or it can catapult us in the direction where we need to go. And we're still searching. We got to find our identity, but it's going to take all of us to do it together.
Do you feel you guys are kind of at a critical juncture, I guess, coming out with 2 straight losses, or is it still?
It's week 6, man. Yeah. It's week 6. No matter, even if we were 6-0, we all know what our goal is. Every team goal is the same. You just got to be honest with yourself and see what we can do better. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back, watch film these next 4 days, let my body recover, and just be honest and see what I can do better as a teammate, as a leader on the field. And I do know one thing, I got to start making more plays. At this point last year, I made more plays. So I just got to do that. And I feel like, we all got to take that mindset. What can we do? What's our role? Dominate our box, we always say. And that's going to be important.
Saquon, what can you learn from a game like this?
I feel like you can learn from any game, whether it's a win or a loss. There's always going to be room for improvement. You got to give credit to those guys over there. They played a heck of a game. to be honest, they punched us in the mouth. And I think we responded at certain points, but we put ourselves in situations and by not giving ourselves a chance to win the football game. And it always comes down to being detailed and the little stuff that we always constantly talk about, and it takes all of us.
Saquon, just a couple of days ago, you talked about how the team needs to be more consistent between halves, and yet again tonight, the consistency wasn't there. What have been some of the common themes that you wanted?
There's a lot of things that goes into it. I'm gonna keep that in house, to be honest. But we just gotta own it. We all gotta own it, and it's the beautiful thing about it. Every single individual on this team all play a part in it, and once you take that mindset, that's gonna take all of us to fix it together, and we'll get things rolling, get things back on track.
Do you feel like the run calls have gotten too predictable?
I can't say that. I come from the school of thought that, majority of times or not, you're going to have an opportunity on the play. You just got to be in the right spot. Someone misses, they make a play. Like, that's just football. Last year, do you think we were predictable? I mean, everyone knew we were running the ball, and we still got it off. So I think we also got to get back into that attitude too, to that mindset, not really giving a fuck what people are trying to do. And that's something that I'm definitely going to.
But you did say this time last year that you felt like you were making more plays. So then with that said, what do you feel like is the difference at this point now?
Make plays. Just be a dog. They pay us for a reason. When the ball's in your hand, make some stuff happen. And trust the guys up front. Because I still believe we got the best offensive line in the National Football League.
Those first two runs that were successful, did you guys go back to them?
Which one?
Sorry, those first two runs that were successful, did you guys go back to them?
Yeah, we went back to, I think maybe both. But again, they adjusted. They made a play. Brian, quick as hell, made a really good move and made a tackle in the backfield. And then going back to your question with Landon, obviously Landon's super important. Landon, not just his talent, just how he is as a leader and how smart he is and vocal up there. So definitely, not having him hurts, but all those guys that played and, Brett stepped up and he played well too. So it's little things. We're close, but to be honest, I'm tired of saying how close we are. And I know everyone else is tired of saying how close we are. We just got to go do it.
Saquon, after those first two runs, the 18, 13-yard run on the first drive, do you feel at that point it might have gotten rolling at that point in terms of the running game and moving forward throughout the game and for it to stop kind of the way?
No, I don't. I think every run, this is like his own individual play. Like, I'm sorry about that. Like, I don't look at it as like, because we got 18 and 13, that I go, we're going to just pop off. Like, I've had games where, I start with 2 yards for 8 carries and I finish with 160. It's really about just taking advantage of the opportunities when they come. Just got to do a better job of that.
Does it feel like offense is too good?
I don't know. I'm out there playing. I'm pretty sure you guys have an opinion on that. But I look at it as football is a lot simpler than what you think. So I think any team is predictable, especially at this point. Like, you have a foundation of plays that you run. If you watch film enough, you're going to have an idea of what's coming. We just got to do a better job of executing on those plays. That's football. Like, they can be in man coverage, and we have a go ball, and we throw it up at A.J. Brown more times than not to come down with the play. So it's all about just executing in the plays. It's not. I don't get into it's predictable or pointing fingers. Like, I'm not gonna. I think KP's doing a hell of a job, but we all got to be better, and that's just the truth. And if anybody else thinks anything different, they got to wake up, in my opinion.
Saquon, I've heard several of the captains talking about making sure guys don't start pointing fingers. Are you guys a little concerned that could start happening?
No, I don't think so. I think we're all grown men, and we play in a professional sport, and we got to take accountability. I don't think that's happening, but like I said, just take accountability. Look in the mirror. And it's perfect for these 4 days. A little mini break. Get away from each other from a little bit. Sometimes that's good. And last time we had a little break, a little bye. It helped us out a lot. So obviously every year, I don't want to compare it to the years prior, but I know what it's going to do for my body. I know what it's going to do for my mental, and hopefully it does the same for everybody else.
in the past, even on days when you guys haven't had your best games, you've been good situational, you've been good with, you know, as you talk about the things that don't require talent, but, you know, there was an end-of-half situation that you guys didn't execute well today. There have been penalties this year that have extended drives, that have ended drives. What's going on with the things that don't require talent, as you guys like to say?
You got to take accountability for it. I can sit here and tell you that Nick Sirianni does a really good job of making sure, like, you know, I've had a lot of coaches since I've been playing football. Situational Saturday, we talk about literally every single thing, like every single thing. So, you know, you can't point fingers that way. You just got to own it. You just got to own it. We all just got to be better. And that's the beauty of this. You know, we're in a situation where we lost 2 games in a row, and we put ourselves in this situation. We dug this hole, and the only way we're going to get out of it is by doing it together.
Thank you, Saquon.
Thank you.